to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long, always with my co-host, the coach, Angelo Reyes. Coach, welcome to the show.
You look amazing. What shirt are you wearing here, Jeremy?
Well, of course, the immortal Ken Norton.
Wow.
You know.
Does this mean you're switching to the Las Vegas Raiders because Ken Norton is the current junior, is the current defensive coach, his dad, of course.
But he was a Dallas Cowboy first.
That's true.
So,
He won 2 Super Bowls with Dallas.
come on, man.
It wouldn't be so bad.
It's not so bad, but you got on Diego Corrales.
One of the greatest of all times, and you guys can get these shirts right here. We have Barrera, Leon Spinks. Basically, the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame is this great organization that honors all the boxers, all the Hall of Famers.
Yep.
And when you get into Hall of Fame, they make your shirt.
Yeah,
So
they absolutely do.
support the Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame, guys.
Yeah, and we follow the link at the bottom of the screen. Go there, purchase a shirt. It goes to their fundraising events
They're
and things like that.
nonprofit.
They're a nonprofit,
Yep.
and their event for this year, 2017, is coming up in a few weeks.
Yeah.
In August. So, get there, buy a shirt.
Yes,
There you go.
absolutely.
What you should not have done is bought the pay-per-view for Mark Hunt, Derek Lewis.
Well, it wasn't. It was free.
Well, good. I'm glad you didn't. I knew that. I totally knew that. I was trying to segue, and it made sense in my mind. So I'm glad it wasn't on pay-per-view.
It was a good fight.
It was
Why
a good
are
card.
you ragging
It was a
on
good.
it?
It was a
good
good
fight.
It was a good overall card.
Yes. Okay.
The main event was a little lackluster. You had
Oh,
two big
come
guys
on.
swinging. No, it was fun for what it was, but
Yes.
after the highlight reel knockouts that you had earlier in the card
True.
and the great submission by Ben Wynn,
Yeah.
over Tim Elliott, the main event kind of felt like a lackluster because it wasn't really. Mark Hunt gets the win, he gets the TKO, but Derek Lewis more or less just had his hands on his hips and kind of gave up.
No,
he was gassed.
here's
He
the
was,
thing. Now, here's what I'll say about that, guys, because, when you're a heavyweight, and what is Derek Lewis? He's 6'6", almost 300 pounds.
Sure.
His back was bothering him, and I don't know if maybe that back was bothering him during training camp. So if that's the case, what I saw there was Derek Lewis was giving it a go, was going 100% with the game plan that he had. You could tell Mark Hunt was being careful about it because any one of those guys, it was like Godzilla versus King Kong, somebody was going to hit somebody and something was going to happen. And I think once it got to the third, I don't want to say it's the gas tank because I felt like Derek Lewis was pushing himself, but if your back is hurting you, bro, you gotta do what's safest, and I don't think he would have had enough juice with his back or otherwise going into the fifth anyways.
Yeah, so it was
But
what
I
it
wouldn't
was.
say he gave up though. He
It
was
was
fighting.
what it was. Derek Lewis announced that this might be his last fight.
What do you
in the
think about
UFC.
that? You think that's true? I don't think that's true.
He's relatively young, 32, and this is a minor setback. And in 1-2 fights, he could be right
Well,
back in
now
title
let me ask you
contention.
this: did you see what Travis Brown wrote? Would you want to see that rematch?
No, I'm
You
not
don't wanna
interested.
see that rematch?
I'm not interested in that rematch.
Okay.
Travis Brown, I'm sorry, man.
Okay. Now, how about probably not Ngannou now because Ngannou would probably have to fight Mark Hunt. But what about JDS, who just came off of a loss? Would you want to see Derek Lewis against JDS?
I'd be interested to see that. But I want him to be healthy. I want him to make the right decision for him and his family. He gets married in the next week or so. So
Congratulations.
whatever's the best for him and his family. He said he didn't want to put his family through this anymore.
True.
So this might be one that actually sticks.
Huh?
Retirement. So we'll see. I always like Derek Lewis.
Yeah,
I always like his
Texas man.
personality,
Yeah.
Texas guy. And everything. So we'll see what happens. Also, noting back a couple episodes ago, we had Jason House from Iridium Sports, and all of his fighters, all three of them, win on this card. They go 3-0 for the night.
I just want to say again, if you guest on the show, you win. 3-0, baby.
Yeah, we're like-
Vince Pichel scores a knockout.
We're like 99.5%.
I'm just saying,
win rate.
man. For you guys who want to get booked on the show, just remember, you come to the Magical Studio, you win your fight.
Come to the magically hot, burning studio, and come get your juju and your victory. Also, very quickly, it was broke today. August 26th looks like it might be the date for Mayweather-McGregor, and also Bellator makes a big move in signing Mike Goldberg and our good friend Mauro Ranallo to join their team. Jimmy Smith isn't going anywhere. Those guys aren't going anywhere. They're just bulking up, man. very quickly, is Bellator making them run?
I think it's a great move. I think it's a great move, Bellator. Good job for getting my man Mauro Ranallo and Mike Goldberg. How can you not have a legend behind the mic? So that's awesome. And then Mayweather McGregor. It's what I'm hearing from the gyms right now. It's going to happen. So I want to see some good undercards in there.
We'll see what happens. We're going to toss our first break. When we come back, we're going to have a little bit more boxing, mixed martial arts. Stay with us. Buy a t-shirt, Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. We'll be right back with the Cagesiders.
Welcome back, Cagesider fans, and I'm here right now with the best 168-pounder who just vacated it, and he's moving up, baby. He dominated the 168-pound weight class. Mr. Badou Jack, thank you so much for joining us on our show. Tell us, man, what did it feel like? What does it feel like to know that you're that much of a prime at that 168-pound weight class, and now that you're moving up to 175? How's life been?
It's a blessing, you know. I'm just working hard, staying humble, and you know, try to be a beast in the ring. That's it.
Well, you don't have to try. We know you're a beast in the ring. Amazing body shots. You know, your timing on your last fight, I think everybody just flat out said that's the best we've seen Badou Jack look. I'm excited about you moving up to 175 because there are all these possibilities that can happen. I mean, and of course we know that Kovalev and Ward are fighting each other, but we could totally see you in that picture. What's kind of the plan for you moving up to 75? Are you maybe going to fight winner of Stevenson versus Fonfera, or what do you guys have planned?
I'm trusting my team, Mayweather promotion. You know, Floyd said I'm going to fight for the title in my next fight. So I'm just being patient and waiting.
All right, now, here we are. We're here for the Canelo Chavez fight, of course, right? Could you ever see yourself in a scenario, maybe if Chavez, let's say, decides to move up even higher, because he's they're fighting at 164, but you and I both know Chavez is about as big as you are. Could you see a fight like that between you and Chavez?
We was gonna fight last year, but he pulled out. So I don't know if he say he's gonna make 160, and I never make 168 again. So if we fight, that'd be at 175.
Now, how about with moving up at 275? Are there any names in that radar that's already been kind of thrown at you that you could talk about a little bit, or nothing at all?
I mean, I'm in boxing to fight the best, and the 175 division is one of the best divisions right now. You know, Stevenson, Ward, Kovalev, got a lot of good fighters, so I'm ready to fight anyone.
Anyone at all,
anyone,
right?
Anyone.
Now, just kind of a quick twist for you before we let you go. We're a boxing MMA show, and we wanted to ask you, first off, are you a fan or do you watch MMA? And secondly, if you are, who's your favorite fighter to watch currently right now?
I'm not a big fan, to be honest. But I got a couple of friends, you know, back in my country in Sweden. You know what? My favorite fighter is King Mo.
Okay, all right. King Mo actually is a good friend of our show. We just had him on the show recently. So yeah, no, King Mo loves boxing. He's always talking about how he watches boxing all the time. Have you actually even sparred a little bit with King Mo or trained with him a little bit?
Nah, we never sparred. But he's a great guy, and I'm supporting him. I watched his last fight.
All right. So see, King Mo, there your man Badou Jack's got your back. So thank you for joining us on the show. Thank you again for congratulations on all the success.
All right, thank you.
Hi everyone, welcome back to the Cagesiders. I'm Jeremy Long, along with my co-host Angelo Reyes, and we're back in studio with the lovely and talented Shannon Torres Gilman. As we introduce,
That's what Jeremy's been doing all day.
Okay.
We're having fun on set. So, and you're brought in by a whole group of beautiful
a gaggle
children
of people. Yes,
and
they make me
Diego.
look better. And he makes me just seem smarter. Yes, or more talented maybe.
Who do we have here in studio
What's
with
your
us?
name?
Carlos.
Carlos. How about you, young lady? Zoe.
I'm Chloe.
Chloe.
You guys know me.
Say it anyways.
Diego, D-Mag, there you go.
That's
D-Mag,
right. He's
back
gonna
in
be
studio.
fighting pretty soon, hopefully, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have him right here before he does.
But let's talk to Shannon about the WBC and these projects that she's doing. What I really love about Shannon here in the Vegas community, and you know how, as a Cagesiders, we're always pushing out the community.
Love
is
Vegas. Yep.
loves boxing. loves combat sports, goes around all the different gyms, really promoting things, and she's putting together this awesome free amateur boxing event. So talk to us a little bit about that, Shannon.
Well, the whole concept of it really came when the WBC decided that they wanted to really reach out to the amateur community. Everybody knows all of the champions, they know all of the pros. They certainly don't recognize the fact, though, that it does usually start very small. However, when you get into boxing and you get into any kind of professional athlete, there's a lot of expense in there. There's a lot of unevenness on who can compete, who can afford to compete, what can go on. And it was really just a way to reach out and kind of make a level playing ground for everybody, so that everybody's included. It's a great thing. You can you can have aspirations to be a pro someday, but you don't have to. Like, anybody can get in there, learn the sport, learn to be a fan, learn to love it, and really kind of harvest that teamwork mentality. Because I think that's also just spills into every other thing that we have with children right now going on, is getting them something that's creative, that has a good moral backing to it, but also is going to tell them that they can do something. So it just started off of that, and it's really for Vegas. I mean, Vegas has an amazing amount of gyms, like incredible amount of gyms, but a very small amount of competitors.
Yeah.
So really, what my passion is, truly, is finding those competitors who wouldn't normally compete, and being like, hey man, trust me. And believe me, I've had to go and sell myself. They're like, yeah, you're not going to do anything, and it's like, please, just trust me. Like, you don't understand. Like I will fight for you.
And you see what I mean with someone like Shannon. This is what keeps boxing going. Is passionate people who want to do good things. Really, all the time she spends on it out of the kindness of her heart. But herself, I mean, she didn't grow up all rich with a silver spoon, man. Oxnard, La Colonia. You trained at La Colonia boxing.
Absolutely.
You were there when Sergio Mora, Victor Ortiz.
They were the Victor. Yeah. Ended up working for Victor Ortiz. Yeah. Absolutely. So it's interesting, because I think that a lot of people's perception, especially when they see a pro fighter, or they see anybody within the world of pro fighting, to look at me, they're going to think I came from some silver spoon, and I certainly have the toys, and I have all those things going for me now. However, I was the girl that didn't have any of that. I was the girl who got beat up on the daily. Like people tell me, how did you learn how to fight? And I said, well, I lost a lot. It's the truth. I know the taste of cement and shoes. So, that really is the only way you learn. But in learning that and getting myself placed into a gym, I also learned that I can fight, and I can speak. And I can speak for these kids now when nobody else is going to speak for them. I can at least hang out with them and tell them, hey, I can relate to where you're at. I've been there. I've had nothing. I have a lot now, and only because somebody, like the people who give their time for free and they hang out and they train, somebody did that with me. And along the way, it's funny, because somebody asked me recently, they couldn't relate to me because they were like, oh, but you have everything, and why would you do that? I said, everywhere along the way where I had a challenge in my life, I can literally pinpoint, like, this person fed me, this person clothed me, this person let me cry on their shoulder, this person told me, get up, brush it off, you're not special, you got to go out there and fight for what you want. And each person's impact in my life just created this, I'm hard to handle, I know, but I have a great heart too. So, it's a good thing.
Well, speaking of that, I mean, Chloe, I know you're training a little bit in boxing now, right? Diego, you're helping her out a little bit and stuff. So, but how cool is it to have this type of a person as your mom? You're actually seeing it with your own eyes. You're seeing her going out to the community. You're seeing her pushing everybody and bringing everyone along. How does it make you feel?
It's awesome. It's really great to just see that anything is possible. It's really cool to see, no matter what happens, no matter what challenges or stumbles along the way that might come up, if you just believe in it and if you just want it and you love it, you can do anything.
That's awesome. See? And you're a direct inspiration right there, plus an inspiration to everybody else here in the community. And I know, Diego, I mean, you're giving a lot of your time to do all of this stuff too, and the whole Magdaleno brothers.
And I can relate to these kids because I've been there. I've been in their shoes before, and to see them work hard every day, they look up to people like us, and it's a great thing. It's good energy.
Now, I know you like MMA also. I know you're a
I
good
was
friend
in the
of,
MMA world for a while.
You were
Good
in the
friends
MMA world.
of MMA
Is that
fighters.
something that you would want to get involved also, or are you kind of one project at a time? Let me get this boxing thing going first before I help out the MMA community, or where are you at with that?
It's very funny because I have, as everybody knows, I have lots of friends in the UFC, and I have lots of friends with that background. I haven't had the drive to go back into MMA. I certainly am not training anymore MMA.
Oh, we got to fix that. The coach is going to fix that, right, Diego?
Yeah, it's probably coming. But I do have a lot of friends, you know, from Top Team and from the Boxillions and that reach out to me and have said, hey, I'd really like to do some of what you're doing. Like, is there any space for me within what you're doing? So that's a huge thought in my head. It certainly is something I'm looking into. I definitely am drawing into that right now. So who knows? You could see something like that happening for sure.
Maybe you could talk to the WBC because I know that WBC does Muay Thai.
Right.
They do. They do Muay Thai.
Yeah. How about a WBC first ever amateur MMA belt? Right?
People have been saying that. So far, they've been focusing on the boxing. They haven't wanted to go into that world. But who knows? I would be the first to say, you never know.
Come on, Mauricio. Come on, man.
I'm not instigating this.
We want to see a WBC like maybe Demetrius Johnson could be like the first WBC. That's what you get.
He's going to talk his way right out of the UFC. He really is. Or maybe, we already found a TV home for it. Last week we had Andrew Simon from Access TV.
That's right.
So I think we.
That's true.
I think we can totally televise
There you go.
that.
You found the home for it.
That's true.
Yeah.
True. Yeah.
Absolutely.
We've got a deal working somehow.
Well, can you tell everybody who's listening where they can reach out to you? Any help they can give?
Absolutely. Anybody can reach out to me. My Instagram is TrainWreckGirl because I got knocked out by my best friend. So I'm also on Facebook, or you can contact the WBC sites and try to get a hold of us through there. But we will be here in July having our very first tournament, and it'll be loud.
I can't wait. I can't wait. I'm excited. I love the smiles on the kids' faces there. They love
They're
it.
amazing.
Yeah, they're just watching themselves in camera. That's why Angelo's always smiling. He sees himself in the camera. He's smiling all the time. So, thank you guys so much for stepping in with us. We appreciate it. Stay with us, Cagesiders fan. We're going to have more right after this break. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Cagesiders. Jeremy Long, along with the coach, Angelo Reyes. Angelo, now we talked to Shannon earlier, had a good time with the adorable kids.
Yeah.
And of course, always Nevada Boxing Hall of
Fame.
They'll kill me if I don't say it right. Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame. Get a T-shirt.
That's right.
Help support these guys. And but also, okay, so let's revisit the Mayweather-McGregor news that's coming out.
I want to see Badou Jack on the undercard,
You can tell how big this fight is by every little piece of information that comes out is met with, oh my God, it's actually happening. So, Brett Okamoto from ESPN puts out there that his sources within their camps
and
are
that's
saying
ESPN.
that they're going to file for August 26th. Now they haven't even filed. Neither fighter has applied for a boxing license as of this taping.
Right.
But it was met with widespread Twitter like, oh my God, it's actually happening. Yes, the fight is actually happening. No, they haven't signed everything. So, is this, I know it's happening, but I can't wait for this to be over.
I think it's definitely going to be done, and it's going to happen. And it reminds me again a little bit of what happened with Mayweather and Pacquiao. I mean, again, guys, they met in middle court during a Miami Heat game, and then boom, next thing you know, Mayweather Pacquiao, 4.2 million pay-per-view buys at $100 a pop later.
Yep.
Boom. So I think maybe McGregor and Mayweather both knew that the Warriors were going to kill Cleveland anyways, so they didn't want to meet at half court there. And maybe they'll go meet somewhere else.
Well, yeah, I get it, but they're great salesmen. They've got it down. Mayweather has it down. His team has it down to a science now. And McGregor is McGregor, and he has it down. He's a salesman too.
And the UFC is a great.
The UFC is a great. So I mean, I know they know what they're doing. I can't wait for it either. I want to see this just to get it out of the way, to build up to the second one, because no matter what, they're going to do a second one. You think?
I think
unless somebody goes space down.
I'm sorry, guys. I think Mayweather is going to kill him. Probably destroy him 3 rounds or less. That's not what I'm going to guess.
All right, so Ward Kovalev also is tomorrow night, right here in Vegas.
Now that one's going to be harder to, I don't know. Now, last time I had Kovalev winning, just like Larry Merchant, I had him winning 8-4. Could have argued 7-5. A lot of people, of course, argued Andre Ward, including the judges.
Including those Those judges. All right, so we want to thank you so much for joining us here on the Action Channel. The Cagesiders, right? We had such a
Who are you
good
going
time.
with? Come on, real quick. Kovalev Ward.
I'm going with Kovalev. I like Kovalev.
I'm going Kovalev.
Catch us next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.